Good morning, grade 9. Today we will see set 1.3, which deals with statements and converse. If and then form of statements, only statement and their converse are three different forms. So let us see one by one in detail. Once you understand one statement, it is very easy to go for the remaining statements. Now see, statement means it is a plain sentence which tells you about the property. For example, the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Now this property belongs to rectangle. And what is the property? The diagonals are congruent is the property. Are congruent. Okay. So the condition is that if the quadrilateral is rectangle, then the diagonals are congruent. Okay, if something is there, then something will be there. For example, your parents might be telling you, if you score good marks, then I will give you a wristwatch. So it is in that form. Now, this is a plain sentence. Let us see how to convert it into if and then form. So coming back to our original example, which we stated, the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. So in if and then form, that means we are putting some condition. The condition is if the quadrilateral is rectangle, then the diagonals are congruent. You can see the comma over here. Now see, when you write the statement in if and then form, whatever is the part of this statement which is following if, that means it comes after if up till here. So the quadrilateral is rectangle. This is following if word. This part of the sentence is called as antecedent. Okay, then the diagonals are congruent. Now this part of the statement which is following then is called as consequent. Okay, so what is coming after if is antecedent and what is coming after then is consequent. Now, when you wish to write the converse of statement, the job is very easy if you know if and then form of statement. You can see over here, you just exchange the parts, that is antecedent and consequent. Whatever is the antecedent, you make it as a consequent. And what is consequent, you make it as an antecedent. That is it, and you will get a converse. For example, look at the same statement. If the quadrilateral is rectangle. So the quadrilateral is rectangle was following the word if. Now that we are picking up and we are putting it after then. Similarly, what was followed by then, this statement which is written in the red color, we are picking it up and putting it in front of if. This becomes your converse statement. I am reading it again. So what will be the converse? If the diagonals are congruent, then the quadrilateral is rectangle. And what is this if and then form of statement? If the quadrilateral is rectangle, then the diagonals are congruent. Now many times when you write the converse, then it is true, but sometimes it may be false also. For example, if there are few examples in which converse of a statement or this if and then form statement is true, but converse may not be always true. Okay, so just keep this in mind. Now let us go to our exercise. Now this is the same statement which I have taken from exercise 1.3, and I think in part first this was the second statement, and in second part where converses were asked to be written, in that case this was the third sentence. So we have already done one sentence from 1.3 from first part and second part. Now let us concentrate on the remaining two sentences which are remaining. So we'll go for the first question first. Now these are your examples from textbook 1.3. First, write the following statements in if-then form. Now students, I have used here shortcuts. You need not do this. You write in complete form. Now see the first sentence. The opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So what is if and then statement? If the quadrilateral is parallelogram, then the opposite angles are congruent. So just see how it is written. Now next sentence is that in an isosceles triangle, the segment joining the vertex and the midpoint of the base is perpendicular to the base. Now how it is written in if and then form? If the triangle is an isosceles triangle, comma, then the segment joining the vertex and the midpoint of the base is perpendicular to the base. So this is how you have to be writing your if and then form of statements. Now let's go for the second, that is how to write the converse. Now look at the second question where it says that write converse of the following statements. Write converse. Now see students, first example is the alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal are congruent. This is the first statement they have given. Now whenever it has been asked to write the converse, I would prefer to write if and then form first. If and then form first, and then just interchange antecedent part and consequent part to get the converse. This becomes very easy. So first let me convert this into the if and then form. What I will say, if the two lines are parallel, then the alternate angles formed by those two lines, those means which? Those who are parallel. Those two lines and transversal are congruent. Now it is easy to make the converse. Just change the antecedent. Now your antecedent will become consequent and consequent will become antecedent. So how to write? If the alternate angles formed by two lines and transversal are congruent, then those two lines are parallel. Okay. So this was your first statement of the converse. Let us see the second one. It is already in if and then form. I am reading it to you. So just see. If a pair of the interior angles made by a transversal of two lines are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. Now this is your second example from write converses. They say, if a pair of the interior angles made by a transversal of two lines are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. Now this sentence is already in if and then form. So it is very easy to write the converse. Just exchange the antecedent and consequent. Here consequent is the lines are parallel, that will become incident. So what we are going to write? If the lines are parallel, then a pair of the interior angles made by a transversal of those two lines are supplementary. So it is as easy as that. And last third sentence we have, that is the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. We have already seen initially while explaining the meaning of converse and if and then statements. So that's all today, students, from your set 1.3. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.